Okay, I'm just gonna make this video because I think about it, but if I think about it too much, I get up in my head about it because I'm like, I don't know. Every man has an interesting relationship with his father because your father, like, it's like the man you compare yourself to and like your model for a man, and like, it's interesting. I think it's really cool. I'm very happy my father's alive because my father did not have the opportunity to get to know his father the way I do because his father died when he was very young, and that's something I have felt. That's such a profound, I'm just talking, this is just what's coming out, but like that's such a profound thing. Like, I'm so grateful I have my father because I can feel in my father the absence of a father. He had a father and his uncle a little bit, but it's not the same thing. I can feel this, it's like a longing. Like he always told me, and he still believes this, that like, he'll be with his parents when he dies. Like I always like feel like I would be with them when I died. It's like, I think he is right, but it's like I can feel, I don't know, it's like it's, I don't know, it's like a I don't know, I don't want to talk too much about my father in this because this isn't, it's supposed to be a super deep video about like emotional analysis. I'm just going to talk about how my father set me up for success. So this is interesting because he had to learn all this stuff. I don't really know where he learned it from, but he learned it. And he set me up for success in numerous ways. The first of which, that is like the most distinctive, is teaching me and insisting that I be exceptionally good at mathematics. Like up until like calculus, I've only done calculus 2 and like a little bit of 3, but I think my brother's done through 4. But he insisted that I get exceptional. My brother hasn't done statistics though, but he insisted that I get, and my father's done both statistics and calculus. He's got a master's degree. My father insisted that I get exceptionally good at mathematics, both calculus and statistics. And my brother get very good at mathematics as well. Like, if we wanted money as kids, like there was no allowance, there was no doing chores around the house. Like that was just like what you did for food. Like we'd be like, everybody be like, he'd be like, okay, so you're gonna rake the backyard now, and I'd be like, can I have $5 for that? And he'd be like, Devin, I let you sleep inside the house. I let you sleep inside where it's warm and it's nice, and you ask me for money to do chores, and I feed you, and I let you sleep inside, and like you want money for chores? Like you just start talking like this. I'd be like, okay, whatever. Like he would just say that, like if you do something really good, he'd be like, good job, Devin, you can sleep inside tonight. He'd never even be sleep outside. But it's just interesting. He's a very interesting guy. I want to get to know him more because he's very, very fascinating. As I become an adult and a father myself, I'm like, wow, like this is an interesting man. Of course, he's very humble. He'd be like, there's nothing to get to know, but it'd still be fun to hang out with him more because it's an interesting dude. I've had a lot of fun hanging out with him. Learned a lot growing up. So I'll tell a little story about this. So one time, allegedly, we were at Pease Air Force Base at a Boy Scout. We were volunteering with the Boy Scouts. We were camping out with the Boy Scouts, and yes, we're just camping out with the Boy Scouts, and we're doing volunteer work. And basically, the Boy Scouts weren't getting treated well. And actually, I'll save this story for another day because I got to put this into a longer video, and I want to get around some other stuff in the video. But safe to say, my father showed me the depths of Jedi mind tricks. Like he literally just mind controlled like 3,000 people at the drop of a hat because he decided to. It was fucking crazy. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen to this day. It just changed. I was like, holy shit. He just looked at me. And I won't tell you how this went down, but he looked at me, he said something. He said, Devin, people fundamentally are very comfortable being told what to do. And now you're going to see the extent of that. Yeah. It's crazy. That can make it start a revolution. But so another thing he would do is he would like get everyone to do like stomp, stomp, clap in like an auditorium. Or like at like Topsfield Fair events, like we'd go there and he would just start getting everyone in the audience like do the waves. He's like, if you just keep doing it, he's like, eventually more and more people will start doing it, and then everyone's gonna do it. And it's funny, I'm actually thinking now, I'm like, that's kind of like my approach to like starting a movement with Weak to Warrior as well. Is like it's the same thing, but I didn't even realize that till now. But So that's one way he set me up for success. Others insisting, but I had to do math sheets if I wanted money as a kid. Like I had to do mathematical sheets. I had to solve math problems. Like it'd be like each page would be like 100 problems, and my father would go through them and correct them, make sure that they were correct and stuff. And like we had to solve math sheets of like increasing complexity, up until the point of calculus, and that was kind of in high school. And at that point, like I remember when I was like 15, 16, I was asking for like math sheets or something. He was like, "Oh, Devin, shouldn't you just go start a business right now or something?" And I was just like, "Oh, yeah, you're kind of right." So I started a painting business. And that was something, so he supplied me with the tools for that and taught me how to do that by bringing me to rental properties that he owns and having me do work on the rental properties starting at the age of 5. I would go down there and do demo. I remember when I was 5, the first time I went down to Providence with him to like go to work on the rental properties. First time that ever happened, I literally like, he gave me a hammer, he put me inside a cabinet, he just told me to smash everything. It's like a big cabinet, like this old antique house in like southern Massachusetts. And it was just like, it was really cool at the time. They'd take me out to dinner at the end after we were done working. And that was something he always did, was like, he always make me work, and then he wouldn't like, I think he would started paying me to go down and help him on the properties when I was like maybe like 10 or 11 or something. But I'd have to do like real work, like it's just real grunt work. And he'd insist that it was done and like clean and like perfect. But this was good though, because this set me up to do work for other people. So I would do work for other people and like I'd hold it to the same standard. And it was actually just very easy to do work that satisfied my like other people, because my father's standards were just so high that it's like he's relaxed them now slightly, honestly. Like now when I do work for him, he's actually relaxed the standards slightly. Like there's still some cleanup stuff that I'm actually feeling guilty for not doing. I'm like, oh God, I didn't finish those cleanup jobs right now. But that's kind of just the way he raised me. And then another thing that he did to set me up for success was if I ever wanted to do a project, I had to have a written plan. I had to have a written plan in place or no project, and I had to like, the plan had to include like a list of materials, like measurements, had to be to scale, had to have like straight edges and stuff. Like I'd literally like be writing up, like doing like technical drawings of, so I remember, like, it's kind of funny, I'm actually now just making this connection. I remember I did engineering in middle school, I had to do technical drawings and stuff. I remember like thinking it was really weird that this was a class, because I'm like, this is just like what you do when you make things. And actually, funny enough, doing that my whole life, I'm now good enough that I can actually just build things without technical drawings at all. But I still think you should make yourself rely on the technical drawing, because it is a discipline to build it first in your mind, then on paper, then measure twice and cut once. That's another thing he taught me, measure twice, cut once. And then you have the finished product. And that's a very, very specific process that must be gone through laboriously, or it is, I mean, you just have to go through it. You have to train yourself to do these things. So like written plans, they just insist that like anything I did well. Like I would just kind of have to like do things well. I think like all of these things set me up for success ultimately, because and reading. He would insist that I read books. Like I remember he would pay me in silver coins to read books that he deemed as important, like classics and like the Isaac Asimov books. And that also taught me to value silver as money and not paper currency as money. So I think all of these things together are also carrying sticks in the woods, but I think that's good. That's good for this video. Those are some things my father has done to set me up for success.